Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you are all well. Oh, oh, it's that Friday feeling, TFI Friday. I love it. I love it. But what I am gonna do today marks the last day that I'm gonna tell you what day it is. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? I think ultimately it don't matter what day it is, as long as we're together and as long as you're looking amazing. I'm feeling amazing, and we're talking about things, and we're being able to discuss things. We have this amazing community. Who gives a flying toss bag what day it is? So yeah, but with that in mind, this is video 2 of 2, and we're speaking about the defence, Bryan Kohberger's defence. Now, firstly, I want you to consider something. Some people have said some things. They've turned around and said, "What has Anne Taylor really done for Bryan?" Could it be that Anne Taylor, because ultimately she's all part of the same sort of college sorority system, could Anne Taylor be somebody who's inside the fence, pretending to be sort of, searching for protecting her client, but ultimately she is a mole? And she is actually working from the inside to steer this in the direction that Idaho wants it to go. And I know that's a little bit of a tinfoil hat theory, but people are thinking it. Because from the grander scheme of things, what has she done? What has she actually done? She has obviously reached out and requested different bits and pieces, and she's shown that she's very, very vigilant, and she wants this, she wants that, she wants the other. But she has very swiftly also managed to get Bryan Kohberger to waive his rights to a speedy trial, which has then ultimately given the prosecution more time. And what have we always said? We have always said that we feel that they have a weak case. They don't have anything more. They don't have anything. So if that's the case, then why would they have waived their right to a speedy trial? Why wouldn't they have just, if you know you're innocent, and you know that there's exculpatory evidence on the peripheral somewhere, and you feel that all these things are true, you feel that they've buried exculpatory evidence, you feel that they've used a biased grand jury, you feel all these things are accurate, and you feel that their case is weak, there's no connection between Bryan and the victims whatsoever, then why waive your right to a speedy trial? Because you're saying that you need more time to go through the documentation and prepare yourselves. Why do you? Why do you? If you're innocent and you believe your client's innocent and the aforementioned, why not just go in and say, let's have it? Because we know you've got nothing, and we know with confidence that what you've got is wrong. And some people say, look, they'd be foolish to do it. The legal system, the judicial system in the United States means that you have to prepare 100%. And that's the other side of the argument. That's the flip side of the coin. That yes, you should make sure that you do have all your ducks in a row. But ultimately, what can change? What's going to change here? The prosecution have what the prosecution have, and that is not likely to change unless they're given more time and they can build a better case in the event that the one that they currently have is weak, what some of us may believe it is. So time will only assist them. And the defence, again, the same thing stands for them. What can possibly change now? We are nearly a year down the track. Literally, what is the date today? I don't know. We're about a month away from being a year, or 11 months at point. What can change? What's going to come out? Who knows? The Burler report, maybe. Where is the Burler report? I can't understand why the Burler report hasn't been done, because that will prove exactly where Bryan Kohberger went in his car, where it was parked, how long it was parked there for, so on and so forth. And they do have that car listed on their site. You can go and check it yourself. That is burler.com. But, look, is it that the prosecution have a weak case, or do they have a strong case? Are we waiting for them to trial by ambush, maybe? But from the defence perspective, what are they playing at? What are the defence doing? We have heard Anne Taylor come out and say that there is no connection between her client and the victims. She hasn't turned around and said that there's no connection between her client and the survivors, but she has turned around and said that there is no connection between her client and the victims. She's also questioned the car, and she has also stated that Bryan Kohberger, as aforementioned, was not in the area at the time of the crime. But is that just games? Is she just trying to sway public opinion or throw a fly in the ointment because she knows that things like that will escape, they'll get out? Who knows? Obviously, in a few days' time, we're going to have this situation where they're looking to have the grand jury dismissed. And I believe they should dismiss the grand jury, 100%. Grand juries are not the best way to do this. You are trusting the evidence that you have, or the information that you have. You're going to give it to a bunch of people who are not trained to interpret that evidence correctly. They only have one side of the argument. Not both, just one. And they will have things that are hand-picked, that the prosecution, what law enforcement feel they need to get a conviction. That's about as biased as it gets. About as biased as it gets. And the states that have had grand juries stopped do so because of this. Because of the way in which non-professional, non-skilled individuals are given information with a lack of understanding in how to process it. Also, the fact that you can have a bunch of people, but one of those people can take the lead, can take charge. So you have somebody within that jury pool who are the dominant people. They become the speaker. So even though you're saying that this is a jury of X amount of people, in fact it's not. It's a jury of one person. It's actually one. And if that one person decides this person's guilty, and they are a strong enough character that they can convince everybody else, then that's it. These people aren't making individual decisions. They are trusting a stronger and more powerful, more dominant persona within the jury pool to make the decision for them, and they're going along with it. It's also been proven that grand juries and how social media is now, they are affected by that. They're affected by social media. They do become biased. And again, this isn't me making this stuff up. This is the exact reasons why certain states no longer use them. The preliminary hearing is the way to go. It is a way that everybody can put their information forward and a judge can look at it and decide whether that is good enough, strong enough to go to trial. Let me know down below. Guilty, innocent, on the fence, Ann Taylor playing games, or is she just telling the truth? Where do you see it? Have yourselves a fantastic, fantastic weekend, and I shall catch you all at some point over the weekend. Love y'all.